5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. We are back again for another live. If you were with me just now, we watched Juice, which was my first time a watch of it. Matter of fact, speaking of, I'm seeing the let me change this caption because we are no longer in our Juice watch along. We are now in our Go Off with Nikki segment where okay, I can't talk and do. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Talk amongst yourselves as I change this caption. Okay. Got that changed because we are no longer in the Juice watch along. So we had to change that. That's what happened when you schedule back-to-back lives. I didn't even have a chance to get the dang little scrolly thing together. But we did our late night not get ready with me. Why did I say get ready with me? We did our late night Go Off with Nikki last night. And one of the questions someone sent was, what are my thoughts on the Jay-Z stuff? I didn't know what they was talking about. And I did Google it and found out, but today I read a article and read a statement from Sir Jay-Z. So I was like, you know what? I need to get into this topic now that I have like some more information. I have thoughts. And I also came across something when I was scrolling online about Jaleel White, child, something he said. So I'm gonna get into that as well. And no, wait, I don't like my camera is feels weird. Okay. That was bugging me. Okay, so any topic, question, whatever that you guys want to ask pertaining to whatever. This is just our all over the place live that we do. So movie, I don't know, whatever the hell. If you need some of Nikki's bad advice, like whatever it is, just send it. We're gonna talk about it and get into things. Let's see who we have with us in the live. Pretty girl Danny, thank you so much for being here in the live. Let's get into some mess. Critical Thinker, thank you so much for being in the live. Yes, please be sure to do all the things, like the video, subscribe, join the membership, comment. Thank you so much. Vanessa Wicked, thank you so much for being here in the live. Shout out to you. Darfalina, Today in Crazy America News. Hey, did y'all get a refreshment? Because I was parched. I had to get something to drink because I'm doing a lot of talking. I would do a get ready too. I don't think it'd be much to my get ready. TP, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here in the live. So we are going to get into it. And speaking of, like, I love my sweatshirt. Abortion is healthcare. That you can't really see my shirt, so I had to highlight it. So let's go ahead and get into the main topic of discussion. Jay-Z accused in suit of and you know, wait, one sec. Trigger warning, okay? Trigger warning for this first topic. It is going to involve the hard R word essay, a minor trigger warning. Jay-Z accused in suit of raping minor, which Sean Combs calls it blackmail. The entertainer said the suit, which accuses him of assaulting an unnamed 13-year-old girl in 2000, was an effort to gain settlement money by putting forward idiotic claims. Idiotic is in quotations because, that's what he said. Jay-Z was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl with Sean Combs in a lawsuit filed Sunday by an unnamed plaintiff. He vehemently denied the allegation and accused the lawyer who brought the suit of trying to blackmail him with false claims. The allegations against the billionaire rapper and hip-hop mogul came as part of the flurry of litigation against Mr. Combs, who is facing federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges in at least 30 lawsuits accusing him of sexual misconduct. One of those lawsuits filed in October accused Mr. Combs and an anonymous celebrity of raping the teen at an after party following the MTV Video Music Awards in New York in 2000. On Sunday, the plaintiff amended the lawsuit to name Jay-Z as the other celebrity, asserting in court papers that he and Mr. Combs took turns raping her after she arrived at the party and drank part of a drink that made her feel woozy and lightheaded. Jay-Z called the claims idiotic and said that he came from a world where we protect children. Mr. Combs has denied all allegations of sexual assault and misconduct and has pleaded not guilty to the criminal charges. The lawsuit was filed by Tony Busby, a personal injury lawyer in Houston who has filed at least 20 sex assault lawsuits against Mr. Combs and used a phone hotline, Instagram, and a news conference to find clients. In an extensive response, Jay-Z 55 said he had received a demand letter from Mr. Busby appearing to seek a settlement. As a matter of fact, let's just jump to the demand letter. Can I make this bigger? Posted on, I guess Jay-Z doesn't have a social media account. I'm going to presume this was posted by Rock Nation. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter. Let's just break down some of this verbiage, okay? My lawyer oh wait, it didn't change the screen for y'all when I clicked hold on. When I clicked to make this bigger, it did not change the scene for y'all. There we go. So you can see what I'm looking at. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter. Now look, I didn't go to law school, okay? I just have a Florida public school education, but a demand letter is not a blackmail attempt. That's not what a demand letter is. As a matter of fact, as I'm going through this, I am going to jot down a few things that I am going to Google. So we have a little clarity, and we are going to Google legal demand letter. Because, baby, it's not a blackmail attempt. But, hey, I grew up in public school in Florida. From a lawyer, and then lawyer is in quotations. So is he not a lawyer? Is he a fake lawyer? I don't know why lawyer is in quotations. Named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature. Now, how you know what he was calculating? What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Let's also jot this down. Civil litigation versus criminal litigation. Because one of the top things that people hurl at assault victims is you just want money. Why are you filing civil? So we're going to also look into that because I have thoughts on that as well. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? See, this verbiage I have a problem with. Would you not agree? Shut the fuck up. Of course, everybody would agree that if someone committed a crime like this against a minor, they should be locked away. But unfortunately, the legalities of things, it ain't that, it don't work. It ain't that simple. But this really just, I don't know this man. I wasn't there for the event, but this, first of all, I said yesterday when I didn't really know anything about it that I believe victims. Period, point blank. I believe victims. But I'm sorry, this statement feels like guilt, allegedly. This verbiage, these allegations, these alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at a young age. And it also irks me when people like pull the kids out, like when they pull the kid card out, like, oh, the innocence of the children. Baby, what about the innocence of the child that was essayed at the party? The parading the kids, yeah, that is kind of irking me. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. What is he talking? What? My heart and support goes out to true victims. And it's like, of course, they always want to say, oh, true victims. Like, of course, I'm with them, but not these alleged victims. Like, my heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Baby, now what the cost of his suit got to do with anything? Baby, what the cost of his suit got to do with anything? You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities, it's in quotations, are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man. Is the young man in the room with us now? I'm a young man at 55 years old, and I look, no ageism, because I'm 40 and I pray to God I live to see 55. But I'm a young man is diabolical coming from a 55-year-old. I'm a young man. I'm sorry. I'm a young man who made it out the projects of Brooklyn. What does that have to do with the case at hand? I'm a young man who made it out the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes of honor. We protect children. Wasn't Jay-Z, didn't he say he was selling drugs to like 12 years old? Is that how y'all protect kids? You have them sling dope at 12? Okay. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. Oh God, Jesus. Okay. Wow. That was quite a statement. And I'm honestly very, very shocked and surprised by this statement, given the fact that we know Beyonce's husband and Beyonce are they don't do the public stuff. They don't do the public they're very strategic about what they present to the public. This statement is wild. This statement is all over the place. Baby, why did he say one red penny? Like, I'm sorry, this is serious, but some of this stuff makes me giggle. One red penny? Like, why did you use that verbiage? Why did you say one red penny? Also, I implore you to, I feel like all of this rhetoric of I implore you to file a criminal complaint if this is real. Okay, you're trying to tell us you're innocent and you're telling them to file criminal. So if they filed a criminal case against you, like I'm confused. Like, you're telling them to file criminal if it's real. But also this happened allegedly in 2000, which was 24 years ago. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but we do have something called statute of limitations. I want to Google what it is in New York, because the VMAs is New York, where the crime took place. Okay. And let's get into the civil litigation versus criminal litigation. First of all, a layman like myself knows that one of the hardest cases to prove is a case of rape, right? It's particularly when it's not immediately reported. So this young lady at 13 years old is assaulted. Now, maybe, presumably, again, this is all conjecture, but presumably with everything coming out with Diddy, of course, we know Cassie was the first person who finally stood up, even though Aubrey O'Day been telling y'all for years about Diddy. But Cassie was the first person who stood up and actually filed suit. That video came out, and presumably it is bolstering other victims to come out and speak up. But this happened 24 years ago. And the burden of proof for a criminal case is far higher than the burden of proof for a civil case, right? Look, the law is the law. They put the stuff in the books for a reason. Just because it's a civil case and the burden of proof is lower than a criminal case doesn't mean it didn't happen. Okay, you just have a higher burden of proof if it's civil. Again, I'm going to have to look it up, but presumably 24 years later, you're far beyond the statute of limitations. But let's say you're not beyond the statute of limitations. You still have to go through, like, if you do something civil, I can go file something civil. I can't go file criminal charges against nobody. Like, that's not up to the victim to file something, criminal charges against someone. Typically, again, I'm just a layman, but from my years of law and order, my degree in law and order, it's up to the DA to look at the case, look at the evidence, and say, yeah, we're going to file a criminal. We're going to, a 24-year-old assault, which is pretty much presumably her word against theirs. I don't see you being able to file criminal against anybody, again, even if we're not outside of the statute of limitations. And I really feel like, I'm sorry, this feels like a tactic to control the narrative, and already like you're already putting a narrative out there that she just wants money. If it's real, you would file criminal. My kid, like, parading the kids, which, okay. But let's also look at the verbiage where he says, where is it? Oh, my heart and support goes out to true victims in the world. Okay, so there's also a narrative of, like, what makes a true or real victim, and there's this narrative of, oh, if you're a real victim, you do X, Y, and Z, and if you do anything outside of X, Y, and Z, you must not be a real victim. If you're filing a civil suit, if you're trying to get money, it's false allegations. Why you didn't report it at the time, it's false allegations. First of all, and again, I'm going to look this up, but I'm just talking through my thoughts. I really feel like people really blow up false allegations. It's not as predominant as people actually being fucking assaulted. Like it's not. Like it's not. But I'm gonna look up the percentages of I don't know. Do we have like a national average percentage of like false rape allegations? But outside of that, when is the last like high profile false sexual assault allegation? And again, a lot of this stuff, like you can't prove. Like it's hard to prove. But I said yesterday, if you are a victim and you are assaulted and you cannot file criminal charges, then file civil. Get as much money as you file. Because what is the filing criminal is to punish people, right? And if you're in a situation where the only way you can punish somebody is by hurting their pockets, then do that. If the only way you can call out your abuser or the person that assaulted you is by filing civil, then do that. Like do that. And the whole, well, it was 24 years ago, and why didn't you say something then? First of all, we know for a fact that there are tons of people that were around Diddy, R. Kelly, all these people who they knew that they were assaulting people. They didn't speak up. They didn't say anything. It was some bodyguard of Sean Diddy Combs that was talking about he literally saw Diddy hurting, beating down Cassie and stuff like that. He didn't say nothing. Like, why are we putting so much on scared, harmed girls and women to speak up when the people around that weren't assaulted, they didn't speak up? Like, it irks me how people make it seem like it's the easiest thing in the world to like speak up. First of all, these are people these are powerful men. There are people assaulted by their uncle who has no fucking, they're not a powerful person and they're scared to speak up. Like I hate that narrative of it was so long ago, you didn't say anything. Like, let's stop acting like there's like a perfect way to be a victim and you need to speak up at the moment and you need to file criminal and you need to do this. And don't tell victims how to be victims. Like, don't tell people who have been assaulted how they are supposed to conduct themselves once they have been violated and assaulted. It's really psychotic. But I'm gonna see what's happening in the chat, and then we are going to look up legal demand letter, because that's not a blackmail. That's not blackmail. I want to see if there's some type of percentage of false rape allegations. Yeah, that feels like, and that didn't feel like a professional put that together. Like, isn't your PR person or your legal team supposed to put the statement together? That statement was wild. It's wild. It's wild. Civil suits just have to show more likely to be true than not, as opposed to preponderance of evidence in criminal trials. Yeah. You said it with all the big words, but yeah, the burden of proof in my layman's knowledge, the burden of proof for a criminal case is far higher than a civil suit. Because, criminal case, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And I don't know what you would call it with civil, but it's like a much lower bar. I will say he is smart because most of his verbiage is attacking the lawyer, who is apparently not respected in the legal world in Texas. And that's something else. That's why I'm like, babe, why is you calling that man suit cheap? Like, what does that? Yes, you have lawyers who are, quote unquote, as they say, like an ambulance chaser, but that don't mean I didn't get hit by the fucking ambulance. Like, I don't understand. I mean, yeah, you're right, he's smart, but if I'm innocent, I don't understand attacking the lawyer. What does that have to do with the young lady who is saying to the lawyer, because the lawyer ain't the victim, the young lady who says she was assaulted? I don't know what the lawyer has to do with it. That the lawyer's name is crazy though. The lawyer is that his real name? The lawyer's name is the lawyer's name is crazy. E. Jean Carroll won against Trump after nearly 40 years. Okay, let me see. I really don't keep up with anything Trump. I don't. So let me see. E. Jean Carroll Trump lawsuit. Now, this is a lawsuit. This isn't criminal. A jury verdict in May 2023 found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming. Oh, I know this. I just didn't know her name. Defaming Carroll and ordered him to pay $5 million in damages. Trump appealed and made an unsuccessful counterclaim. Carroll's accusations of rape was in a different category from claims of any other women. Jury finds Trump liable for sexual abuse, awards accuser $5 million. This is civil litigation. This isn't criminal, I think. Yeah, this is civil. Jurors rejected Carroll's claim was raped, finding Trump responsible for a lesser degree of sexual abuse. Again, a hard thing to prove. They didn't even find him guilty of rape. They found him guilty of the lesser degree of sexual abuse. The judgment adds to Trump's legal woes, blah, blah, blah. Jurors also found Trump liable for defaming Carroll over her allegations. Trump did not attend the civil trial. Yeah, civil suit. Like I said, if you're a victim and you cannot file criminal, sue. Get the money. Like, I hate how people try to, baby, like, do you understand, like, the mental, like, what people go through being assaulted? Fucking get the money. Like, I don't care. Get what you can get. Like, name your abuser the best way that you can, period. And if the only thing at your disposal is civil, then yeah. So, yeah, E. Jean Carroll won against Trump after 40 years because that wasn't a criminal case. I'm presuming when you say that statement, you're referring to the statute of limitations that for rape charges. Any evidence is long gone, and it'll be he said, she said when he has all the power and influence to shut other people up or pay them off. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you're 13, 33, 53, and you're raped, sexually assaulted, and you want to prove that the person did it, it's a lot stacked against you. It's a lot stacked against you. I remember reading up on even when women immediately report and have like rape kits done, they're still called all kind of things, and like it didn't happen. And when it's he has to respond. He's a public person with a lot to lose. Yeah, but the response should have went through PR that or the legal team. That statement was wild. That statement was wild. That statement did not feel like somebody with a lot to lose. That statement did not feel like somebody with, that statement is out of control. That statement is so, that whole thing, that's all that was crazy. 20 years is the statute of limitations in New York. Okay, so this was 24 years ago, so she can't file criminal. And that's the thing. I feel like someone as intelligent as Jay-Z, someone who is a businessman like Jay-Z, who has dealt with legal things for a long time, baby, you know what a demand letter is. That's why I was like, this feels real guilty. Like, this feels very trying to put the narrative a certain way to a public that's already going to jump to, the same things they always jump to. The whole blackmail, baby, you know what a demand letter is, sir. Um, the whole, if it's real foul criminal, you know the legalities of her trying to file a criminal suit for a rape that happened 24 years ago. Like that's why I said the verbiage in there is crazy, because someone like, that's why I said a lawyer def didn't write that. A lawyer didn't even look at that. Baby, nobody proofread that. Nobody proofread that was all over the place. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. One red penny is old man, because who says that? Who says one? You're not getting one red penny. I want to hear that coming out of his mouth. Like, I want to hear how he says one red penny. One red penny is old man language, but he is just a young black man from Brooklyn with kids old enough to be questioned by their friends about his alleged crimes. And that's why I also was like, this feels very much like trying to control the narrative. Using the whole coming up out of Brooklyn again, it feels like trying to control a narrative to get the public to jump to things the public already typically jumps to. Because what's the thing that they love to jump to, and that they jumped to when people was accusing Diddy? You want to bring a black man down, and all the black man that rolls himself up from Brooklyn, and all the verbiage in his statement is wild. It's wild, and I wasn't there. These are alleged events, but that statement release really feels like somebody that's guilty, allegedly. Because it really feels like jumping to typical pieces of a narrative that you want to kind of control for the public. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the hit dog will holler. I'm typically the type of person, I'm not really an address things kind of person. If people lie about me, like I just like whatever. One thing that I am very, very serious about is don't play with my character. Don't play with my motherfucking character. I am so serious about that. Like I will like it, and it takes a lot for me to really like be angered. Don't play with my character. Don't play with my character. So I don't like the like a hit dog will holler, which yeah, I get it, but if someone is accusing me of something that affects my character, baby, the dog gonna holler. Like I'm gonna holler because how dare you? But I get the sentiment though. That's a thug-like warning. Yeah, it really felt threatening towards the lawyer. And I agree. I can't remember who commented that it is. And I will say, as janky as that statement is, and as much as I'm like, baby, did the PR proof this? He was smart to not directly attack the victim, but again, it feels strategic. Even throwing in the I stand with real, true. I don't like putting that word in front of victim. Just say I stand with victims. Saying I stand with true victims, he didn't directly attack the young lady who's saying she was assaulted at 13. He more so attacked the lawyer. He made it a point to say, I stand with true victim. Like it feels very much. Yeah, am I the only person that sees this? Like, oh, I stand with true victims. I'm against sexual assault. Like it's it's sounding like I'm guilty and I don't want my world to crumble. My sentiments exactly. Not so different from Bishop, not Bishop and Juice, baby. Not Bishop and Juice. Confirming that Jay-Z was an emotional pedo was so unexpected. Allegedly. I'm not surprised. Y'all, I say all the time, I think Hollywood is a cesspool. Like I do. I do want to be a director, baby. I'm gonna do my job and go home. Like, you will not catch me at no party. Like, Hollywood is a cesspool. Like, it's a cesspool. I feel like they're all predators. You know what? Not all. I truly don't believe they're all predators, but it doesn't surprise me. I'm not shocked and taken aback when stuff comes out. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Now, did I ever like think or have an inkling that Jay-Z would be mixed up in something like this? I mean, baby, he went on tour with R. Kelly. Look, he went on tour with R. Kelly. Didn't they go on tour like twice? They did the Best of Both Worlds album. Wasn't there two of them? And baby, everybody know where R. Kelly was. Baby, come on. The whole industry was complicit and knew what R. Kelly was doing. Literally. Even if it was a complicit, not actually being a part and engaging in the acts. When I say complicit, I mean you knew what the hell he was doing to kids. Baby, what do these rappers always boast about doing when they're on tour? Hooking up with the groupies. What was R. Kelly doing? Baby, he went on tour with R. Kelly. He went on tour with R. Kelly. It was like, this isn't far-fetched to me. This is all alleged. He went on tour with R. Kelly. He went on tour with R. Kelly. If memory serves, because I was very, very young, this was a very, very long time ago. If memory serves, and I had them albums. I had the Best of Both Worlds albums. Yes, I did. I was just a little girl. But if memory serves, they went on tour twice. And I think if memory serves, Jay-Z cut the second tour short. Let me Google that. Yeah, if I remember correctly, don't hold me, but if my memory serves, they went on tour together twice. And yeah, allegedly. Don't sue me because I ain't got shit. Allegedly. But I believe victims. My childhood best friend ran off with an army man when we were 15. He was a divorced 26-year-old. Last I saw on Facebook, they are still married. Wild. The industry helped create R. Kelly, much like Michael Jackson. This is for entertainment purposes only. I would not put it past any of them to be habitual line steppers. Absolutely not. And I'm going to be honest, I'm the type of person, I be looking at everybody sideways. Like, I truly believe, I remember somebody said that to me one time. I had a close friend that I used to know, and I was accused of something with her boyfriend, and it wasn't true. And she claimed, like, it was one of those, like, she ain't necessarily believe me. And she didn't necessarily believe me when I said nothing happened with me and her boyfriend. And she didn't necessarily believe the person who was claiming something did happen. Her thing was, I have no proof of whoever is lying. And I was upset. Like, you're my close friend. You should believe what I'm telling you. Her stance was, I don't put nothing past nobody. I don't know if you did it. I don't know you didn't. We can still be friends. I can't prove who lying. And I remember I was so massively upset. Like, how dare you say to me, I don't put nothing past nobody? After living on earth, I actually feel that exact same way. I don't put nothing past nobody. I don't put nothing past nobody. For all I know, to like, I feel like I have to stand on my principle no matter who the person is. People get upset when their favorite like celebrity is accused of something heinous and they want to just jump to defending them. Baby, if tomorrow somebody say my little brother raped them, I stand with victims. I don't put nothing past nobody. It's like, I feel like once you've lived, at least me personally, once you've lived and you realize the secret lives that even the people closest to you can live, it finally dawns on you, you can't put nothing past nobody. You cannot put nothing past nobody. And as mad as I was at that time, now I understand. Like, I knew I didn't do nothing, but she didn't know. She got one friend telling her I did, and this friend telling her I didn't. And her thing is, I don't put nothing past nobody. No, I don't know you to be that way, but for all I know, you did. And it was a time that I did go behind a friend back with their boyfriend. But I didn't lie in this instance. I didn't do nothing with her boyfriend. This was somebody else's boyfriend that I was. Yeah, but don't put nothing past nobody. We going off a hole, so. Yeah, I still want to act just regular indie films. My whole thing is, first of all, don't put no kids in Hollywood. Like, child stars should be banned. It just literally should just be illegal. Like, leave the kids out of Hollywood. But when it comes to, like, that's why I was like, y'all know I gotta jump off the cliff and I gotta talk very exaggerated because that's just my dry sense of humor. I don't think every single solitary person in music or film is part of the cesspool. No, I don't think that. I don't think they're all predators. I don't really think all. I think it's a high percent. But I really feel like it's a lot of the execs and the people behind the scenes more so than the artists. That's what I feel. But yes, you have people that want to act. It's their passion. It's their. I mean, I want to direct. I want to write. In film, baby, I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna do my job and I'm going home. And I doubt I would ever even have to worry about getting to like a famous level. But I wouldn't. I have no desire to be famous. I would want my movie known. I wouldn't want to be known. Like I don't want nobody to know who I am. I don't want nobody to know. Like I have no desire to like run in those circles. Baby, do your job, go home. Like, do your job, go home. Like with any job, do your job, go home. Now, in the do your job, go home, though, it ain't finna be no shenanigans on my set. It ain't finna be no sexual assault on my set. Not that not anything. I wouldn't. I can't and would never be that person turning a blind eye. No. I don't care how much power you have. No. I'm going to stand with victims every single solitary time. Point blank. Period. No. Like, I'm not turning the blind eye, but it won't be no shenanigans on my set. I want any actor that I will work with, babe, tell me if something happened because I'm going to be with you. Tell me if something happened. We're not playing them games. We're not playing those games. But look, we can't, and I'm gonna say I don't, but I'm just gonna say we can't idolize celebrities. Like we can't. We like, I feel like that's a part of why when a Jay-Z is accused of something, I mean, it's rape culture, but also a part of why people are so quick to like try to poke holes. Like I saw people saying, why was she at a VMA party at 13? That's your knee-jerk reaction? Is why was she at the party? Like we're sick as a society if our knee-jerk reaction is why was she at the party? What the hell does that have to do? I don't care if she was on the moon. Like, what are you talking about? That has nothing. I don't care if she was serving alcohol at the bar to patrons. What does that have to do with anything? Like it's but I feel like part of the reason why it's the jump to the defense is because I often think about how we're conditioned to side with power, particularly if you're Black and it's a Black person that has amassed power or wealth, you side with them. And it's the fact that people idolize these celebrities and it's like a blow and a crush to them. They just can't, there's no way their fave could do XYZ. And I get how that feels because I used to idolize her. When I was a teenager, when I was a kid, baby, I would have went to war for Brandy. I love the Brandy. Do you hear me? Love Brandy, TLC, Lee Thompson Young. Like, you could tell me I wasn't gonna marry Lee Thompson Young when I was like 13. Like, you cannot tell me I was not gonna marry Lee Thompson Young. And when I was 19 years old, I got Al Pacino tattooed on my wrist. Thank God, to my knowledge, no assault allegations. I think he made it out the Me Too movement unscathed because I don't want I don't want, obviously, but I was young and crazy. Don't put no celebrity name on you, child. That is batshit insane. Like I was 18. I was 18. I wasn't 19. I was 18, and I got that man name tattooed on me because I was obsessed with Al Pacino. I was obsessed. Like I loved that man. Do you hear me? I loved Al Pacino. Like I get it. If at 19 years old, somebody would have came out and said Al Pacino assaulted them, first of all, I stand with victims, and I did even back then. So I wouldn't have jumped to he couldn't have done it, but I would have been devastated. I would have cried. I would have cried real tears. Literally, I would have to take a knife and cut my skin off my wrist. Like I get when you have these parasocial relationships with the people that you see on movies and television. I get it, but we gotta break that. You gotta break that. Like, I know people who's like their daddy they found out their daddy hard R word somebody. Like, look, the predators are out there. The predators are talented. The predators are smart. The predators amass wealth. The predators have families. The predators have interpersonal relationships with people who love them. Like, my teen dances had full nude dancers. My environment set the social norm, especially in Two Live Crew, Uncle Luke era. I am very much I feel like I have just been a very radicalized person since I was very, 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 very young. I was born in 86, grew up in the 90s, grew up in Florida, obsessed with Dr. Luke and all. I literally as a young, like as a 10-year-old would like feel like I don't I hate the rhetoric that people use of like a woman dresses a certain way or acts a certain way, or I don't care how sexual a woman acts or presents herself. I don't care if a woman walks down the street butt ass naked. It does not give anyone the right to violate her. Period. There is never a, well, she must do what she, no, you don't violate. I don't care if a girl, not a girl, Jesus Christ, not a girl. If a woman straight up is like, I want to have sex with you. Let's go have sex. Let's take off our clothes. Put on the condom. Never mind, I changed my mind. Then she changes her mind, and you don't have the right to do anything to her. Like, I don't care what anyone tries to come up with. There is never a reasonable, like, you don't assault people, period. You get consent or you don't. And if she changes her mind, you don't have consent. It's over. Go get mad. Go find somebody who's consenting. Leave her alone. Point blank, period. I don't care if she has sex with the whole football team. If she tells you no, it's no. I don't care if she screwed you 100 times previously. If she tells you no, it's no. I don't care if she on the beach with her titties out. If she tell you no, it's no. Like, literally, like, there's no, I don't care how old the girl was at the party. Why was she at the party? I don't care. Like, none of that matters. The fault, the blame, the shame for sexual assault needs to always be on the abuser, period. Period. Like, period. Like, point blank, period. I don't care. Like, I don't care. There's no rational reason she a hoe. I don't care. Like, no is no. No is no. Like, there's no way around it. No is no. Equalizer, thank you for being here in the live. Lord, we almost an hour in and we still on the first topic. I don't know. I feel passionately about this topic. If one party decides to change their mind mid-stroke, is over. If you continue after, it's absolutely. No is no is no is no is no is no is no. Period. Like, there's no synopsis. No is no is no is no is no. It's no, it's no, it's no. Wait, she changes her mind like that. She's nuts, then sure, stay away from her. You're not nuts. You have the right to change your mind. Period. I don't care. You have the right to change your mind. I can suck your dick and change my mind. Period. I don't care. You can change your mind at any moment. It doesn't matter. Change your mind. You have the right to not go through with anything you don't want to go through with. And I feel so passionately about that because I have known so many girls when I was younger and women now that I'm an adult who have sex with men that they don't really want to have sex with. No is no is no is no. And you have the right to say no, and you have the right to change your mind. I remember a big thing when I was a teen was I knew girls who would want to like kiss, make out, hunch around a little bit because you're a teen, you have hormones. They did not want to have actual intercourse, but they would end up doing it because after they want to say no, the guy would be like, well, you got me revved up. We can't stop now. Yes, the fuck you can stop now. The woman can change her mind anytime she wants to change her mind. If all she wants to do is kiss, make out, she can change her mind anytime she wants to change her mind. He can change his mind anytime he wants to change his mind. If a party wants to change their mind, they can, and they have every right to. Been watching SVU for years. No means no. No is no, is no is no, is no is no, is no is no. Change your mind. You can change your mind. Yeah, that being the teen dance is crazy. Insecure people need to show power and avoid weakling/victim titles. And that's the thing as well. It's like we have this very strange narrative of what a victim is, and we have a very strange narrative of what a perpetrator is. I remember a homegirl of mine, this was years ago, knew somebody who a girl said he raped her, and her thing was like, he's so fine, he get all the girls, he don't have to do that. I remember sitting there like, girl, are you stupid? Like, are you stupid? Like, it's about power and control. It has nothing to do with who he is able to get to consent to him. Like, we just have such a weird, oh, he's attractive, oh, he can get any woman he wants, oh, he's this, oh, no, that has nothing to do. No, like no. Like, no. Yeah, we were, and I was upset. I will never forget. Like, I was so offended. Like, how dare you not believe me? And how dare you say you don't put nothing past anybody? Baby, spill the tea. Who was the boyfriend? He was fun. Oh, this is a great example of what I just said about changing your mind. A close friend. Oh, we were young. We were like 20, 21, 22 years old, somewhere in that range. And a close girlfriend of mine, I don't know what happened this night, but somehow I was the only girl, because we used to have like how when you young, you have like your group, you have your crew. For some reason, this one night of us going out to the club, it was only me and all the guys. All the guys were my platonic male friends. And one of the guys was my homegirl's boyfriend, but he was a part of like the friend group. Separate from them being in a relationship, he was in the friend group. We all went out. I swear, like, sometimes, when people be like, it just happens. Sometimes stuff be just happening because you don't even know how y'all got there. I don't know how we even got here, but all of a sudden we were out hanging out at the club. And like, one thing my guy friends used to always say was I was intimidating. I don't know how the hell I'm not intimidating, but they used to always say I was intimidating. what we were on the conversation because some guy tried to talk to me. I was an asshole, as I typically am when a guy try to talk to me, because I feel like you can't be nice. They don't understand if you just be like, no, they want to keep, well, we could just be friends. So yeah, I was an asshole. And they was saying something, and then the I don't want to say his name, like I don't want to say his name, but my friend's boyfriend was saying something about me being attractive, and I don't know how we got here. So we literally spent like an hour with all the guys talking about how me and my friend's boyfriend I had my first apartment at this time. We should go home together. Y'all, I don't know how we got from I'm intimidating to I'm attractive to y'all should go home together. I literally don't know how the fuck we got from A to B. But we literally, and I was literally just sitting there. Like I wasn't saying anything. All the guys were just talking about me and that guy should go home together. And I was just sitting there. They were just talking. I was just sitting there. And somehow we ended up going to my apartment. I don't know how we got there. I swear to God. I don't know what. Now he was fine though. My friend boyfriend was fine. But we ended up going, okay, so I'm skipping stuff and I'm saying I don't know how we got there because I'm kind of like being funny about I don't know how we got there. But we went off by ourselves. Like it was all the guys talking about how we should go home together. And then me and him went off together and had a conversation. And we literally had a conversation saying, we're going to go to your apartment and we're going to have sex. Like we literally had, y'all, it was a whole conversation. I have always felt like we need to fully talk about what the hell we're gonna do. Like, it's no like I thought you were giving. I'm not a signal person. I'm like everything needs to be laid out plain and straight. It ain't no vibe signal. No, we need to lay it out plain and straight. So we literally had a conversation about going to my apartment and having sex. And we went to my apartment and we went to my bedroom. And then in the middle, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this. I changed my mind. This girl is my friend. We've already made out, like I've already effed up, but I don't know. And I literally like just felt icky. And I was like, no, this isn't right. I was down, but I changed my mind. Like, and guess what? I had the right to change my mind. If I did want to have sex with him, we were talking about it, and then now that we're about to do the act I don't want to do, I have the right to change my mind, and you don't have the right to force me. Like, you have the right to change your mind, point blank, period. But this happened after that other friend that I was accused of doing something to her boyfriend. That wasn't true. This happened after. This was somebody else. So when I was accused, I was innocent. And I never got found out about this. Baby, let me tell you, all my homeboys kept their mouth shut. Nobody ever said nothing. I never got found out. But technically, I didn't do nothing. We did not have, yes, we like kissed or whatever. We didn't have sex. So technically, I didn't do, look, I have committed no crimes. I have done nothing unethical. To this day, she don't know that happened with her boyfriend. That's diabolical. That's diabolical. Oh my God. That's double jeopardy. Right. I paid for a crime I didn't commit. Shout out to Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones in that movie Double Jeopardy. My friends do not watch my YouTube channel. She don't know nothing. She don't know nothing. Look, I'm not a liar, but I'm not gonna offer information. And what's so funny? It was like 4 homeboys and then her boyfriend that we were out with. We never had a conversation about like keep your mouth shut. Don't say nobody. Just never said nothing. Like we just never said nothing. And what was crazy, as far as the homeboys knew when we went to my apartment, as far as they knew, we had sex. So that was the plan. playing. The only people, unless he told them, the only people who know that we actually didn't have sex was me and him. Like nobody else would know. Like I had my first apartment. I was living by myself. No one else was there. And as far as the 4 homeboys who was there, no, the plan was they finna have sex. They and I rolled with them. So they dropped both of us off at my apartment and left. So like I said, unless he told them we didn't do nothing, as far as they know, we did. Baby, nobody ever talked. Like nobody ever said nothing. She never found out. And they stayed together in their relationship for many years after that. They stayed together. And I was around him all the time. Like he was part of the friend group. He was my close friend, boyfriend. Nobody said nothing. I have done nothing unethical. That's a line from Seinfeld if y'all don't know. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. I have done nothing unethical. Yes, that's my movie. That's my movie. Yes, Double Jeopardy is good. Okay, myself and a male friend went out to a restaurant. This girl from another table with 4 girls kept approaching me, sent a drink over. I was polite. No, we had to leave without ordering. Wait a minute. Myself and a male friend went out to a restaurant. This girl from another table with 4 girls kept approaching me, sent a drink over. I was polite. No. Okay, so are you saying you were polite and said no, but she kept approaching you and sending the drinks? Is that, and so you had to leave because she wouldn't leave you alone? Oh my God. I like to meet the adult who cannot see a child and recognize the physical and mental immaturity. They prey on the physical and mental immaturity. I was watching The Pope's Exorcist starring Russell Crowe. Then this live came up. I've got the movie on pause. That's a terrible movie. A child is a child and cannot consent. Don't give how grown. I agree. A child cannot consent. Absolutely not. Stabler and Benson were diabolical. We need to talk about how screwed up Stabler and Benson were. Like the way they portrayed the justice system was insane. Now, Law and Order is the show, particularly not the original Law and Order with Jerry Orbach, but the Law and Order SVU radicalized me against that. Literally, SVU made me an abolitionist. Like they radicalized me against the justice system so hard because the way SVU always portrays defense attorneys as evil, the way Stabler be beating the brakes off suspects, the way they always wanted to trample over people's rights to try to make their case, like it radicalized me. I love that show. Great show, great television, but it made me an abolitionist. I said, F the justice system. It's all screwed up because Stabler and Benson were out of control. And the way the rules did not apply to them, the way if it was Stabler's daughter getting in trouble with the law, the way if it was Olivia's brother, the way all of a sudden everything they stood for with justice went out the window and did not apply to them. Oh, baby, that show radicalized me. Like that show. Oh, we need to talk about that. Well, we need to talk about how diabolical SVU was when it came to the justice system. Oh, my Lord. And the way they did that black lady, because she was having sex on her own time with suspects, people who are proven innocent, the way they did that black lady and she lost her. Oh, I didn't like that. And then she sued Cragen and the whole department girl sued them. I'm all for sue them. But Benson and Stabler were diabolical. And I hated the way they portrayed the justice system. Probably realistic. And that was the show that made me like, it just really radical. And I was like, you know what? The biggest lie they perpetrate is, oh, if you guilty, I mean, if you innocent, you don't need a lawyer. If you're innocent, you're the main people who need lawyers. Never trust the police. All they're gonna do is lie, trick you. When I tell you, I'll be like, don't say a word. I don't care if they ask your name. First of all, you don't have to go nowhere with the police if you're not under arrest. Second of all, if you are under arrest, you don't have to say a motherfucking word. I'm not saying nothing until I'm talking to my lawyer. Do what you going. Well, then we're gonna book you. Booking. Take me to jail. Like I have not. Don't give them any ammunition. Oh, I can go off on SVU. Good television. But the way they portrayed the justice system was out of control. Those cops were out of control, particularly Benson and Stabler. When I say those cops, they were out of control because it wasn't much. It wasn't Tutuola that was out of control. It was Benson and Stabler. They were out of control. That is, okay, I think, is it the season finale of the first season or the second season? She didn't last long. When did Ice-T come in? Because Ice-T comes in when the black lady goes out. I think it's the season 1 finale where they end up having to do these evaluations with the therapist that's supposed to be private, but the file, everything the therapist, they tell the therapist, turns out she tells like the top bosses and stuff. So I think Stabler has to go to anger management, and the black lady gets fired because she tells the therapist how she goes out as anonymous sex in bars. And they wanted her to stand in front of like the commissioner group and explain. And she was like, I'm not finna tell the commissioner about I'm not finna explain my sex life. And so they fired her, and she felt like it was wrongful, and she was fired for being like a woman, for being like black. And she ended up, Cragen didn't stand beside her. So she was like, I'm about to sue Cragen too. I'm about to name you in the lawsuit. It's either that season 1 finale or that season 2 finale. It's before Ice-T comes in. I know that because when the black lady goes out, Ice-T comes in. See, sometimes I say quotes and people don't know where it comes from. You got it. Take me to jail. Throw away the key. Literally, never trust the police ever. I don't give a never. And I remember my mother being like, well, if I'm falsely arrested, I just want to clear my neck. No, don't say, I just want to tell them. No, you the main innocent person that's going to be locked the fuck up. Shut your mouth when it comes to the police. Don't say a word, particularly if you're innocent. Especially if you're innocent. Never say nothing to nobody but your freaking lawyer. Period. Never. I'm not telling you my birthday. I'm not telling you my name. I'm not telling you where I was on Tuesday at 2:00. I am not saying anything unless it is through my lawyer. And when the lawyer sit there and you ask me a question, I'm gonna look to the lawyer. Is that a question that I should answer? Then I'm gonna answer it. Lawyer, is that a question I should answer? Then I'm telling you. And it was SVU that made me that way. That really made me, and I went and I was researching stuff for like the justice system. And I was like, oh, this is screwed. Uh-oh. Yeah. SVU radicalized me. Absolutely. Made me an abolitionist. I said, oh no, the justice system. We're supposed to be rooting for Benson and Stabler when Stabler is busting heads of suspects, people that be turning out to be like innocent, like Stabler was always ready to beat somebody up. I will never forget that episode where this coach was like wrongly accused because the little girl was like too scared to say who actually abused her, and the cops and stuff was pressuring her. So she didn't name the coach. She drew a picture of the person who actually did abuse her. He was like a soccer player, but they thought the picture was the soccer coach. And they was like, is this Mr.? And she just said yes. And the man was innocent. Stabler was about to punch the lights out of his wife. Like in that, was innocent. Like Stabler was knocking heads when people was innocent. Like they were just suspected. They were out of control. Ice-T still on the show after Stabler left season 12. Ice-T should have been Liv partner. Yeah, I stopped watching. It just wasn't the same. I don't care, and I did try to dip in and see like that. What's that lawyer? Is the lawyer Barbarossa or something? I don't like none of these people. I think I dipped out. Not right when Stabler left, but somewhere around that time. And I think they disgraced Cragen. Didn't they disgrace Cragen or something? Ain't that why he left? Like in the storyline of the show, didn't they disgrace him or something? But Rollins. Oh, I hated Rollins. I stopped watching somewhere around the time with like Rollins. Like, oh, I didn't like it reminds me of like Criminal Minds. I have like my perfect lineup when it comes to SVU and like Criminal Minds. And once it's not that lineup, I'm not as into it. I did hear Spencer is coming back to Criminal Minds. The one thing I do like watching for is anything a suspect is running. I'm basically taking bets if Ice-T is around the corner waiting to clothesline a fool. Okay, I knew I remember something. They did disgrace Cragen in season 15. Because wasn't it something where like he was busted in a prostitution ring or something? Like I can barely remember. I feel like I know they disgraced him, which pissed me off. But I think he was like busted in a prostitution ring. He was like lonely or something. It was one of those things where I just didn't like the actress. Like, and no offense to that lady, I don't know that lady. God bless her. But you know how sometimes you have actors that you just really like, and then sometimes you have actors that you just don't vibe with. I just didn't vibe with the actress. I didn't like her portrayal. And again, it's also a bias because I like a certain lineup. I didn't like these new people. I didn't like Stabler leaving. Like I wasn't for the shakeup, and I feel like didn't it happen in like a strange way? Like I don't think I distinctly remember writing Cragen out of SVU. I remember him getting disgraced. I don't remember them writing Stabler out. Like I feel like Stabler was there. The season ended, and then all of a sudden the season started, and we had new faces. And I think they using exposition explained why Stabler wasn't there, but he didn't actually get like a send-off. Like I feel like it was like very odd. So it was also biased as to why I didn't like Rollins, because I was just like, what the hell? It was like when Destiny Child came out with Say My Name, and he was like, who is these bitches in this video? Like that's how it felt. Like, wait, who are these people and where is that? I like my SVU lineup a certain way. I wasn't feeling it. And really, 9 times out of 10, when they would bring in a guest cop, I did not like them. Who was the cop that they brought in that was Ice-T partner for a short period of time and got arrested because he was in like a shootout and he killed somebody and he refused to talk, and come to find out he was trying to solve a rape that was like 20 years old. And then they found him innocent, but then he got caught up shooting somebody again. I didn't care for him. They also brought in a cop who was like kind of like Stabler, but to a whole nother degree. Oh shoot. Yeah, anytime they would, I just like my lineup. I like Benson, Stabler, Munch. I never liked Cassidy. Now Cassidy was there from the beginning, but the way they wrote him, the way he acted when Olivia had sex with him, and then he all liked her, but she didn't like him, and he turned into a stereotypical male that's like lashing out just because she don't want, and she turned him down nicely. I never liked Cassidy. But anytime it was not just my lineup that I liked, which I was mad when the black lady left. I loved her. I love that lineup. But I also loved when Ice-T came in. But after that, anytime they brought in, remember Anthony Anderson came in, anytime they brought in guest detective, I wasn't here for it. I wanted my lineup. So that was also stacked against Rollins. It was just my bias of who the hell is this? Like, I want my lineup. Where's Stabler? To my recollection, he wasn't like written off the show. Like, he just left. And like a new season started and everybody looked different. It was like, who the hell are these? And I think they even brought in a new lawyer too. I was like, who are our new 88? I was like, who are these people? Chester. That was his name. Chester. Yes, it was Chester. It was Chester. What was he? Because I remember him making a comment about his ancestors like built the bridges and stuff in that city. Yes, it was Chester. It was Chester. I didn't care for him. I remember he was cleared of those charges. Cragen left a season later. He retired. Okay, I could have sworn. Okay, because like I said, I haven't seen this stuff in ages. I just remember Cragen getting busted in a prostitution ring and getting disgraced. I thought he got like fired or something. So you're saying he was busted in a prostitution ring, but didn't get fired, and then like later he just retired. Stabler left because he shot the girl after she shot up the police station. Yeah, but we never get him exiting though. We get the episode. That's what it was. You just jogged my memory. We get the episode where the hairdresser had raped that girl's mother, hired somebody to kill her so she couldn't testify. And that was also when what's her name? Sister Peggy was killed as well. She came in a police station to shoot the man that raped her mom. And also killed Sister Peggy, and Stabler had to shoot and kill her. But he doesn't actually exit. The season ends, the new season starts, and he's just not there. And they, like I said, they use exposition and they verbally tell us why he left. But that's not how you send off a character. I need the character to be there and actually like get their send off. Like I didn't like how they did that. Like the season popped up and it was literally just new faces. And it was like, wait, what? Now, yes, but that's just because I like Delroy Lindo. Yeah, I never knew he came back. I wasn't watching the show. I do know he has organized crime. I do know they killed his wife, which I think is just freaking ridiculous. There was no need to kill Kathy. Yes, that's what it was. Cragen was set up with a hooker. He was drunk or at least woke up with a dead prostitute in his bed and no recollection of what happened. They disgraced Cragen. But to my memory, I thought that's why he wasn't on the show. I thought he was like fired because of that whole disgrace. Yeah, when Stabler left, I left, but I have been rewatching the show this year. I'm almost at the point where he leaves again. And that's where I would just stop watching again. Oh, pay dispute. Christopher Maloney wanted more money, so he went to True Blood. Oh, wow. I never knew why he left. You know what's so funny? I can't think of her name. The lady who plays Olivia Benson, she was actually on an episode of Seinfeld, and it's always so funny seeing her on there. I feel like no, when Rollins came in, Stabler was no longer there. She came in after Stabler left. This is what I was saying, Troy. We do things by the book here, except when we choose not to, which is like it's not every other episode, they make up the rules as they go. They do what they want to do. That's why I'm like, that show completely radicalized me against the justice system. Absolutely. Hey, honestly, thank you so much for being here in the live. There we go. There we go. I feel like I have a terrible memory, but I know what I know, and I know what I forget, and I know what I don't remember, and I know what I remember. Right, with all them 50-11 kids they had, why kill Kathy when they tried to push him and Olivia together right after, I was grossed out. That irks me so bad. I didn't see it, but I heard, now I don't know if it like, did they actually have a romantic thing? I heard that they created a romantic storyline between Benson and Stabler, and it pisses me off so bad because I feel like we really never get platonic love between male female friendships, and I was so like, that's the one, well, not the one, like I said, great television, but that's one of the things that I really always loved about SVU is the bond, the platonic bond and love that Stabler and Benson had, because I absolutely hate when people say men and women cannot be friends. So the fact that they wanted to write a romantic storyline with them pisses me off so bad. And honestly, I just like, don't even make sense. Like, don't even make sense. I really feel like it was no point in killing Kathy. It feels like that's what they wanted to do to jumpstart his organized crime show, because that's his whole thing, is he's trying to go after, if I remember correctly, he's trying to go after the person that had his wife killed. Like, he gets like some anonymous text on his phone to like meet at this like carousel or something to find out who killed his wife, but it's like a setup and somebody is like dead when he gets there. We didn't need to kill Kathy to get him to organized crime, child. Like, it upsets me so bad, especially with the fact that Stabler was always such an absent dad. All them kids really had was their mama. I just think it did not make any, like, it was unnecessary. How do you know stuff and forget stuff? Olivia can't never get no love. That boy she adopted is an a-hole. Are you referring to when I said I know what I forget? Because I look, it makes sense. I know what I forget. I know what I don't know. I know what I remember, because just like how I was like, well, I don't know, I think, and then when somebody says something, it jogs my memory, and I'm like, okay, I know that. So I know what I forget. I like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know what I forget. Okay, now let's get into Stephen Urkel. He's been feeling his shout out to Miriam for keeping me on task with the topics. Yes. The next topic is supposed to be Mr. Jaleel White. Let me pull this up. I didn't have a chance to hold on now, where am I didn't have a chance to read this, so we just gonna get into it. There we go. Together, I just saw people online talking about this, so we gonna get Jaleel White on why he thinks Family Matters not considered amongst best black shows. White implied he had been told, if it's not a hood story, it's not a black story. Lord Jesus. In an interview at the Wilmington Library for the launch of his new book, Growing Up Urkel, actor Jaleel White suggested Family Matters gets left out of the discussion on the best black TV shows of all time. Being a part of the TGIF brand sometimes makes you feel like you don't belong in the pantheon of blackness, he said at the 7:30 point of the chat as seen below. Blackness has been treated as very monolithic experience in entertainment. If it's not a hood story, it's not a black story. And you know, sometimes I feel left out of that. I'm gonna be honest, this is giving the black people who be like, I was into anime when I was a kid, and I the girls didn't like me, and I was a nerd, and shut the fuck up. Like, it's baby, calm down, okay? Like, baby, you don't have to be hood. You don't have to, like, no. Now, is it true that black people and entertainment stuff is treated as a monolith? Yes, 100%. But that's not why, like, baby, why are you reaching for that? Like it's literally giving the light-skinned girl in 3rd grade said I wasn't cool because I liked anime. Like, heal the hurt, baby. Heal the hurt. I'm sorry. White, who portrays Stephen Quincy Urkel, not the middle name, on 9 seasons of the ABC sitcom, which, I mean, 9-season run, that's a feat. That's successful. Of the ABC sitcom, said that the show rarely comes up when people talk about the black shows they grew up with. Babe, who? Because I hear people talk about the show all the time. If there's ever a poll and they say, what are your favorite black shows? Martin is in there. Oh, baby, look, I hear people talk. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Him saying Family Matters rarely comes up when people talk about, like, great black shows. I got to push back on that. And it's a lot of those shows I did not watch. I have never seen the Cosby Show in my life, never had any desire, never saw A Different World, never had any desire. I absolutely was set every episode of Family Matters, but baby, it's not better than Martin. Like, let's be for real. And Martin isn't a hood show. It's not better than Living Single. And Living Single was not a hood show, baby. Living Single was black Muslim professionals. Like, what are you talking about? Cal was a stockbroker. Maxine was a lawyer. Khadijah had her own magazine. Nothing that he is saying that people say is better than Family Matters, which objectively those shows are better than Family Matters. They're not hood. So, like, that's why I'm like, it's giving. They picked on me when I was 10 and said I talked white and I wasn't cool with the black kid. Like, babe, like, heal your hurt because your rationale is making no sense. I already know we're coming in last, but if there's ever a poll and it's just your favorite family show, suddenly we rank really high. But why is that something that's bad? Like, yes, I think, and I have heard a lot of people praise and say that Family Matters is one of the best black sitcoms and shows, but baby, it's not better than Martin and Living Single. Let's be for real. And Family Matters is a great motherfucking show. I used to love Family Matters. Objectively, it's a great show. But I don't understand why he's saying we're not coming out higher than Martin and Living Single, because baby, no, you're not. We're only going to come out on top when people talk about their favorite family-friendly shows. What's wrong with being a great family-friendly shows? We're really lacking great family-friendly sitcoms, black sitcoms. Like, what's wrong with topping in that arena? I don't understand why you got to pull hood into it. Like, am I tripping? Like, why are we pulling hood in here? Why is being at the top of a great family-friendly show like why is that bad to rank high in that? Like, so it's kind of interesting in how we look at ourselves even as black folks. Yeah, you're right, Jaleel. It is interesting because baby, Martin and Living Single was not hood, okay? Martin, professional, black professional, working on a radio station. It wasn't a hood. Gina, black professional. What? Like, I don't understand why what show was hood that we're ranking at the top? He ain't named one, because Living Single, baby, that's black professionals. Okay. White also used the topic as a jumping off point to discuss how he became the defining image of Black male nerd culture for an entire generation. Somehow I became a symbol of Black male nerd culture. I know this for a fact. Any brother that grew up in the 90s and 2000s, he was told that he looked like me. He said he was called Urkel and he didn't look anything like me, guaranteed, but still his peers would find a way to call him Urkel. So it's really humbling to see how far nerd culture has come. And really, it's not nerd culture, it's smart culture, it's hobbyist culture, it's skateboarders. I could never have known in a million years that I would be the face of that. As someone who grew up in that era, we absolutely would call people Urkel. But again, why are you looking at these things as a bad thing? Being a nerd is not a bad thing. Like, I don't understand the way he's framing it. Now, again, I grew up around this time. We did call people Urkel. Am I gonna sit here and act like you people weren't picking on you because you was watching Dragon Ball Z? No, the hell they were. But people get picked on for tons of different things. Like that, I feel like that's just kids. Like kids, that's just kids. Like there's nothing wrong with being a nerd. And I also don't like the implication of you're either like if you're quote unquote not a nerd, or if you're hood, you're not smart. Like I get saying like the other stuff, but the it's smart culture, baby, calm down. Like calm down. Because was I ever into Dragon Ball Z anime? No, the hell I wasn't. But I was huge into books, reading, writing. Like kids are gonna find any reason to pick on you and make fun of you, like period. Like I mean, they are. But none of this has anything to do with the fact that Family Matters is not better than Living Single and Martin. Family Matters ain't better than Fresh Prince. Like I'm sorry to that man. Now it is a great show. It is one of the greatest Black sitcoms. It is one of the greatest family-friendly sitcoms in general, Black or whatever. And I don't know why he's looking at that as a negative. There's nothing wrong with the baby. You're smoking dope if you think you're going to rank higher than Martin and Living. Yo, that's another plane. Like that's another like baby. Like. Just last month, White shared his reasons for turning down the opportunity to reprise his role of Urkel in a Family Matters reboot. Somewhere around 2013, 2014, I was approached by one of our former producers that Netflix had interest in doing a reboot. I had never heard this. Netflix had interest in doing a reboot of Family Matters on the heels of Fuller House having done so well, and that didn't make any sense to me. I didn't feel that it was right for us to have to copy what Full House had done to fit inside someone's business model to capture the magic that made our show make sense. Now I never heard this. I think a Family Matters modern reboot, like bringing them back like they did. Now I love Full House when I was a kid, loved that show. I never watched Fuller House, had no desire. I probably wouldn't watch the reboot of Family Matters either, but I think it's a great idea. I don't know why he's saying he don't feel like it makes sense. And I don't know why he keeps framing stuff the way he's framing it, saying he didn't think it was right for them to copy what Full House did. I wouldn't look at it as copying. This is what Hollywood does. You see something is successful, so off the heels of that being successful, you say, well, hey, let's do this, right? Like, it's the same reason we got a bunch of Rihannas after Rihanna popped off. Like, let's go get this. Like, do y'all remember that young Black Caribbean girl who they tried to model after Rihanna when Rihanna blew up? Like, that's what these execs do. You follow a certain model. It's the reason why we get multiple movies of like the same premise, because it's like, oh, this worked. So since we saw that this worked, let's replicate it with something else. I wouldn't look at it as we are copying what Full House did. I don't know why he framed stuff in such a negative way. I just don't get it. I don't know why it like, am I tripping? I feel like he keeps framing things very negatively. And I don't see the negativity in the way he sees it. I think the legacy of Family Matters is a strong fucking legacy. That was a groundbreaking, amazing show. A family friend, like, I can't remember the people's name, but like the dad, the mom, that girl that Urkel had a crush on, like these are iconic characters in culture. Like, it's a iconic show. It's not better than Martin. It's not better than Martin. Let's be for real. It's not better than Martin. But it is absolutely a groundbreaking, amazing. It lasted 9 fucking seasons. That is groundbreaking. And I can't in memory remember how Family Matters ended, in the sense that I can't remember if it was one of those shows that like ended on a high note or overstayed its welcome. I cannot remember. But your show was groundbreaking. It is a part of history. It is a part of Black history. It is a part of television history. It is like, I don't understand why he's like, we're not going to poll higher than Living Single or Martin. And his rationale is because if it's not hood, nothing about Living Single is hood. They're fucking Black professionals. They're working on, they're a stockbroker. Like, what about Living Single is hood? Like, let's be for real. Martin isn't hood. Like, but your show was not baby. There is nothing that they did on Family Matters that will compete with Pam and Martin fighting that little furry creature when they went on that vacation. Nothing y'all did on Family Matters is topping that. When they was fighting that little furry creature, y'all know the episode I'm talking about. Y'all know the episode I'm talking about. When they was fighting that furry creature. Oh, Martin. Nothing y'all did in 9 seasons is topping that. Like, I'm sorry to that man. But it's just not going to happen. But that does not mean your show isn't absolutely amazing. It's like, I don't understand. And I think not doing well, it's Netflix. And, Netflix be hit or miss. Of course, it depends on the writers. Of course, it depends on, it's a lot to the formula. But I think not rebooting Family Matters might have been a missed opportunity. I don't know. Maybe it was a smart decision because, again, you don't want to ruin your legacy. And again, I don't remember, because y'all know we have those shows that overstayed its welcome, that like should have been off the air. Its heyday was over. But then you have those shows that were smart and like they ended on a high note. And I can't recall which one Family Matters falls into. So maybe bringing it back wouldn't have been a good idea. Maybe it would have like kind of messed up the legacy, or maybe it could have been amazing. But I don't think the rationale should have been, we don't want to copy full. It's not copy. You're in Hollywood. Like, I'm not. I'm just an observer. That's what they do. If a formula is successful, they want to replicate it. It is not necessarily you copying Full House. Like, yo, I knew y'all knew the episode. Like, I'm sorry. Nothing in 9 seasons of Family Matters is topping that right there. Like, that one thing alone. Like, yo, Martin was, yo, that was my first celebrity crush, was Martin. That was my first celebrity crush. No, I'm sorry. Nothing y'all did on Family Matters is topping Martin. Nothing y'all did on Family Matters is topping Living Single. And it has absolutely nothing to do with hood. And it's so astonishing the rationale he used, because I would say those are actually examples of shows to show that Black people are not a monolith. Like, what are you even talking? This is what, yeah. First of all, some people just don't have the range to talk on some things, and some people just don't even know what they're talking about. And Jaleel White feels like somebody who just don't even know what they're talking about. Because, sir, did you watch the same Living Single that I watched? Like, yes, the episode of Martin did the New Jack City seance. Look, it's so many classic Martin moments. I'm sorry, Family Matters cannot top. Like, I'm sorry to that man, but it's just not gonna happen. Name a different show, sir, because you're not topping Martin and Living Single. It is not going to happen. Pam, I know it was hard for you to fight. Oh my God. Was it Miriam Hopkins on Family Matters as the sister-in-law? Who the hell is Miriam Hopkins? I don't know that lady. Who is Miriam Hopkins, child? Who are y'all pulling out your hat? Miriam Hopkins. Oh, she popped right the hell up. I feel like I have never seen this lady in my life. You're saying she was on Family Matters? Was there white people on Family Matters? I don't recall white people on Family. Baby, who is this? I don't know this lady. I don't know this lady. Y'all, who is this lady? Equalizer, who is this white woman that you got on my screen? I don't know who that is. I feel like I ain't seen that lady before in my life. I ain't never seen that lady before in my life. Jaleel got in his own way rejecting that reboot idea. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, again, like I said, of course, it's a formula. Of course, you would need great writers, et cetera, et cetera. Like, but in essence, if you get the right team together, I think it's a great idea. What do the kids have? Like, where are the family-friendly shows? Oh, I looked up the wrong person. No, not her. She's on with Tony Orlando, that white woman. I don't know. Okay, let me try this again. Because I was like, baby, who is this? Baby, who is Harpo? Who this woman? Now, you said Miriam Hopkins, and you said she sang with Tony Orlando. Baby, who is Tony Orlando? Let me see. Miriam Hopkins, Tony Orlando. No, I know her. Like, yeah, she was on Family Matters. She was the aunt or something. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. Her name is Thelma Hopkins. See, you had the wrong name, child. You had me pulling. I didn't know who that white lady was. Yeah, she was on Family Matters. I remember her. I think she was like the aunt. I think she was the aunt. Okay. I'm glad we got that figured out. Because I was like, Harpo, who is that woman? Yes, she was the aunt on Family Matters. I don't know who the hell Tony Orlando is. But yes, you're right. She was the aunt. I think, yeah. She was on there. Yeah. Oh, dang. I can't remember. It way overstayed its welcome. See Richie replacing the younger daughter. Every damn character getting put in that machine to imitate Irk. What? I must have stopped watching because that ain't ringing no kind of bells. What? I still didn't get answers to Judy going upstairs and never coming back down. I cannot. I love when Mark was like, get to stepping, and she leave, and he started like, yo, and I haven't seen Martin in 100 years, but I still have all of that in my head. Family matters overstayed its welcome and turned into Urkel matters, less on the family and other characters. Dang, I must have stopped watching at a point because I don't recall none of that. Family Matters ended in Steve and Laura getting married. I hate the propaganda in media of a guy constantly not taking no for an answer when a woman turns him down and just pestering her, and she doesn't want to go out with him, and it ends in them getting together. I mother freaking hate that. Why, as a society, do we push this stalker, don't take no for an answer messaging? It bothers me. Jaleel has an outsized ego. That's why he was against the reboot. He think he's bigger than hip hop. I buy it, and I honestly have not heard anything about this man. That article I just read is the first, because I just saw, that was my first time even reading the article. I just saw people online talking about why is Jaleel White comparing Family Matters to and calling Martin Living Single Hood. But just from that article, just from that excerpt from that one interview, I absolutely buy that his ego is bigger than his head. Now, why? No, in the words of Nene Leakes, why is Fast and the Furious in it? They still making final Fast and the Furious movies. If it makes money, Hollywood is going to run it into the ground. Absolutely. But why is my baby in this? Why is my franchise in this? He was typecast as Urkel. I'm sorry to that man. A lot of people get typecast, but I don't know what that got to do with talking about hood. If it's not hood, like, what hood TV show was at the top? Because they canceled Homeboys in Outer Space, and that show was good. Like, I don't know what he's even talking about. Like, even that sector of UPN that had all the black shows, they're not bigger than Family Matters. Like, I don't get his whole we ain't hood, so we, what TV shows or sitcoms were black hood people that were holding up and propping up as like the greatest TV? Like, I'm so confused on his rationale. Like, I'm so confused. He got to heal the hurt. I'm sorry to that man that light-skinned girl in 7th grade didn't want to go out with you because she said you was a nerd. Like, I'm sorry to you, but you got to get over that. Living Single and Martin were also aimed at older demographics as well as Fresh Prince. Family Matters was cookie cutter, right in the name, family oriented. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I don't understand why someone who was on a show called Family Matters, that was a wholesome series, is upset that he's coming in at the top of family friendly shows, but he's not coming in higher than Living Single and Martin. Wasn't that your goal and aim, to be a wholesome family friendly show? So why is it a problem that you're at the top of those lists? Like, I'm not understanding. He wasn't the only black nerd. We also had Tyler James on Everybody Hates Chris. of his era, he was the poster child for the black nerd. Everybody Hates Chris wasn't here. We're talking 90s, early 2000s. He was absolutely correct. If you were referring to a black guy as a nerd, you absolutely called him Urkel. You absolutely called him Urkel. Urkel was absolutely the poster child for the black nerd. He was absolutely correct in that. Everybody Hates Chris was not here. And I would not consider Chris and Everybody Hates Chris a black nerd, but I've never really saw that show. I thought it was like supposed to be Chris Rock as a kid or something. And like I don't know. That's all I really know. Wait, what? I heard he tried to fight Harriet. Wait, what? Jaleel? Wait, what? Hold on. What? Don't tell me he's an abuser of women. Hold on. What are we talking about? What is that man name? Jaleel. How the hell? Oh, he popped right up. Jaleel White fight. Oh, spelled Harriet wrong. Family Matters star Jo Marie Payton alleges that Jaleel White tried to fight her while on. What? I have never heard this. The actress says the incident was the result of a disagreement over whether White could do something that might not clear with the network standards and practices department. What? First of all, an abuse of women and disrespecting his elders all rolled into one. Family Matters actress Jo Marie Clayton alleges she and co-star Jaleel White nearly got into an on-set altercation during the filming of the show's 9th season. Oh, that's the final season. Payton, who played matriarch Harriet during the show's nearly decade-long run, told Entertainment Tonight that there was one time he actually wanted to physically fight me. Oh my God. Payton, who said White didn't have the etiquette on set that she and some other actors may have had, alleges that the incident took place while they were filming the 10th episode of season 9 original. They had an episode called Original Gangsta. Oh my God, get the fuck out of here. There was something that he wanted to do, and I said, we can't do that. Standards and practices will not let that pass. It's not going to happen. He wanted to do it anyway. He was so mad, he started kicking and screaming. Men are never beating the allegations. Men are never beating the allegations. That they lash out violently. Because, baby, why is you at your grown age kicking and screaming just because she said, hey, what you want to do is something that's not going to clear? Baby, why are you kicking and screaming? That's when Payton said she walked off, but as she was doing so, she heard White make a remark. She asked co-star Darius McCray, playing her son Eddie, to clarify what White had said. So she's walking away from the situation. He said something about she must want what, baby? Oh, you know he a nerd in real life. She must want to melee. That's right up there with Jay-Z talking about his red pin melee. But come on. Darius, did he really say? I feel like that's not something you make up. Melee? She might want to. Oh, you nerd ass nigga. Melee? I can't. Melee? Okay, let me be serious. I can't. So he's kicking and screaming, lashing out violently. Oh yeah, but what do I love? But men are logical and women are emotional. But this show seemed like a lot of emotional from this man. But baby, he said she must want to melee. Oh shoot! Not the clap back. Darius told her Jaleel said she may want to melee, and I said, "What's a melee?" Baby, she say I'm not a nerd. The fuck is a melee? Oh my God. I cannot. He said it meant a fight. I turned around. If he want to fight, I would. Darius grabbed me. I was going to whip his behind. That's right. You teach that youngin. You give him the ass whooping his mama didn't. Shout out to the elder blacks who will beat anybody's child. We don't have the elder blacks beating everybody else's child no more. And that's what's wrong with the culture. Because the elder blacks will beat anybody's child and dare their parent to come at them about it. I love her saying, "What's a melee?" Because you cannot try to get gangster with somebody using words like melee. Baby, shut up, Jaleel. Please sit down. Oh my God. The Urkel actor had previously suggested there were on-set tensions between him and his Family Matters co-star during the show's run. Oh my God. That I've never heard this, but that doesn't surprise me. In an interview with TV One's Uncensored in 2021, White said that tension was due to him not being welcome to the cast at all. I'm going to put some speculation in here that Jaleel White felt like him as Urkel was like the star of the show. And when you have people like Harriet, it reminds me of like James Avery from Fresh Prince, and I forget his name, but the guy who played the butler on Fresh Prince. In that time period of the 90s, when you have these seasoned veteran Black actors who come from like stage and stuff like that, and you come in as the young, like hot shot, like feeling like, you know, you bigger than your britches, as they say, where we're using terms like melee, I'm going to use terms like bigger than your britches. I can absolutely see him not being like welcome amongst the crew. I absolutely can believe that 100%. That attitude, according to several stars who appeared in the episode of E! True Hollywood Story. Oh my God, I used to love the E! True Hollywood Story. I used to be obsessed with that show. Was in reaction to actors being told at one point by showrunners that the dynamic was going to change to make the show more about art. What did I just say? And that it was all about, and I think somebody in the comment just said, as the seasons went on, it became the Urkel show. We said, okay, we weren't happy about it. I think along the way, it got to be a little resentful, but it was just an adjustment that we had to make. Rightfully resentful. Like I get it. I get both sides. Urkel was huge, and I get the people behind the scenes feeling like we need to center him. I mean, it's kind of like Destiny Child centering Beyonce. But I also get everybody else being resentful. Like, we're a part of the show too. It's called Family Matters. It's supposed to be about the group. That's unfortunate all around. I really feel like no one's at fault in that. Like, I can kind of get everybody's side. Now Jaleel was acting like a maniac. I doing that, which I don't know what the hell he was kicking and screaming. But I wouldn't put fault on Jaleel for the fact that the actual showrunner said, hey, we're going to center this person. But I also can understand the rest of the cast being like resentful about that. My arrival to Family Matters was a rocky start at the beginning, White said. They kind of had to accept that I was there. That was a process. Wait a minute. Was Now, I don't get why it was a rocky start. They had to accept that I was there. That part is throwing me. Eventually, though, the cast came around, he says, over time, figuring out that if you do this and I do that, we win. That's ultimately what evolved. Shout out for Miriam with the information about the melee. About the melee. I cannot believe he said melee. No, it's not alleged. We just heard from the person who was there. What did 50 Cent say on Power? He did that shit. What did 50 Cent say on Power? He did it. Yeah, he did that shit. That, to me, that I don't know. That don't feel like a story you make up. And then it don't feel like a story you make up to also drag Darius McCray into it. Like, I don't know. I wasn't there. I guess we'll say alleged. It feels real to me. It feels real to me. That's why she left the show. In the end, they did an Aunt Viv. Unfortunate for her. I really hate that. Actors are a whole different breed of people. I absolutely freaking, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Jalil has been for the... Now, how we getting on our Dr. Umar right now? Jalil has been for the Snow Bunnies for a while now, so it adds up. It definitely adds up because all the little black guys who be like, the black girls didn't like me. They said I was a nerd. They all go for the white girls. Like, it's on brand. Like, it's on, like, and I don't care. Go be with them. But it's on brand. It's on brand. That's what they do. They said I talked white. I like Dragon Ball Z. The black kids didn't think I was cool. The light-skinned black girls didn't give me the time of day. I cannot. Okay. I cannot. Moesha was better than Family Matters. I cannot attest yay or nay. Y'all tell me in the chat, was Moesha better than Family Matters? I said in another one of our Go Off with Nikki, I did not have very many rules growing up, but a hard, fast rule was I was not allowed to watch Moesha because my mother thought she was boy crazy and that would be a bad influence. So, yeah, I never watched Moesha. Family Matters was on the primetime lineup of TGIF. What more do you want from what? Where's Tyrese when I need him? What more do you want from me? I'm not chasing Myra liked Urkel for who he was. Laura would have gotten the deuces. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. But I really feel like it just feeds into the narrative of like wanting what you can't have. Myra was right there. She was the accessible one. She liked you. He don't want that. He wants the unattainable. I already said, I forgot who we were talking about, but it's like that stereotypical thing of like men feeling like she's the challenge. So that's where I want to go. I don't want like what I can easily get. I want the challenge. I hate that narrative. I hate that we push that. Go where like I'm going with who wants me. Like I'm going with who wants me. I mean, like I am. Like I agree. I don't like the whole like chase ideal. We should not be chasing anybody. Like let's like grow. I mean, they weren't adults, but like let's be grown ups. Let's be human beings. Either we like each other or we don't. I don't understand this chase. Make him chase and work. What are we talking about? Like what? Baby, as humans, we ain't got nothing to do. We got nothing better to do. Because why are we? Like, what are we talking about? Oh my! Family Matters is not better than New York Undercover. That was my show. That is a good ass show. Oh my God. That's how the Parkers ended. Nikki got with Professor Ogilvy. Stalkers be getting they person. I never watched the Parkers, so I'm not familiar with that. But I absolutely hate the narrative that typically in media I see pushed as the guy just pester. Don't take no, finally get. So I'm guessing you're saying on the Parkers, Nikki, I don't know who she would have been. Was she the girl? Was Nikki the girl played by Baby from Moesha? But Nikki being a girl was after, and the one like the Urkel was pester, a guy that didn't want her, and then they got together in the end. I absolutely motherfucking hate that narrative. So bad, so bad, so bad. And on the flip side, for the but I'm not gonna beg and crawl for you to be with me. You want to be with me or nah? Like you want to be with me or nah? Like it's a nah. Okay, let me move on to somebody else. You want to be with me or nah? Okay, you want to be with me or nah? You want to be like, babe? Y'all are look. We're not. Let's end that. We're not chasing people. Look. You want me or nah? Look, what we doing this or nah? What they used to say on Jersey Shore, you want to smush or nah? No? Okay, next. Cosby Show added a daughter and Family Matters lost one. Tony Orlando was a singer, and he called the two girls with him Don. Thelma Hopkins was one of the girls. He had his TV show also in the 19. Oh, baby, I don't know no damn 70s TV show, baby. yeah. I guess that's why I don't know Tony Orlando. The only Orlando I know is Orlando Bloom, Orlando Brown, Orlando Jones, and the Orlando City that's a few hours from where I grew up. Baby, them is the only Orlandos that I know. And he Latin. I'm sorry. I don't know Latin performers. All I know is Selena. And who was Baby they made that movie about, who was a Latin singer, and he had a fear of getting on an airplane, and they freaking he died on the airplane because they gaslit him about not wanting to be on the airplane and having a fear. Them the only Latin performers. I do know Gloria Estefan. Oh, Ricky Martin. Okay, I guess I know a few, but I don't know Tony Orlando. I was being funny. Y'all gotta catch up with my humor. Y'all gotta catch up. I know white people's on Family Matters. I was being funny. What the hell is Perfect Strangers? I have no clue what that is. I never knew Family Matters was a spinoff. Miriam! Some decorum, Miriam. Some decorum. Miriam! You're a mod. Conduct yourself better. She did look like the type. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Oh my God. La Bamba. That's it. Was it Lou Diamond Phillips? I love that movie. I haven't seen it in 100 years. It made me so mad. Literally, when I tell you, I really feel like it's some life lessons I learned very young. And some of them from movies. La Bamba was the movie. I saw that movie when I was a real young kid. La Bamba was the movie, and I still say it to this day, that made me say, never let people talk you out of your own mind. Baby knew he would die on an airplane. He had a fear. He did not want to be on an airplane. And he let them people gaslight him. And literally the first time he got on an airplane, it crashed and he died. And I tell that to myself to this day. Never let people talk you out of your own mind. It's part of the reason why I don't like explaining myself to people. Like when you make a decision, are you going to do something or you don't want to do something, and people want you to explain, I don't have to explain nothing. I don't want to do it. Like, oh my God, that movie, literally, life lessons learned young. And he was young as hell when he died. He was young as hell. Wasn't he like 16 or 17? Like, it's so freaking sad because they wanted to like rush. They didn't, because he would not get on the plane. If I remember the movie correctly, they wanted to like rush to get him to some kind of show and wanted him to get on the plane, and baby died. Like, oh my God. So sad. Never heard of Perfect Strangers a day in my life. A day in my life. Like, literally. Never heard of that. Perfect American sitcom. Babe, I ain't never. Hey, I know this guy. I've never heard of this in my life. From 1986 to 1993. Never heard of this in my life. What does this have to do with Family Matters? Strong and cynical man's life is never the same when his naive but good-natured cousin comes to America to live with him. Wait a minute, this is kind of ringing some bells. I was born in 86. Maybe I used to see this maybe when I was little, because this is feeling familiar. But when you say the name Perfect Strangers, I feel like I've never heard of that before in my life. But looking at this little clip playing and reading this synopsis, it's ringing some bells. But what does that have to do with Family Matters? Like, how was Family Matters a spinoff? I'm going to have to look into that. Half the shows from the 70s to the 2000s were spinoffs. When you have Spidey sense, listen to it. I call it my black Spidey senses. They be tingling. Gotta listen. Same. And this is what I meant about I don't like watching like tragedy, like realism, like real life. It literally makes me genuinely sad. Like, it will ruin my day. Like, if I ask people around me, don't tell me news about like people getting killed and stuff. It will literally make me sad and depressed. It could be a stranger that I've never heard, never met in my life. But if I hear about like a tragedy happening to someone, it genuinely makes me sad and depressed. Like, it brings my whole spirit down. Like, my heart will hurt for those people. I saw that movie one time, never saw it again. Amazing movie, great biopic movie. Love Lou Diamond Phillips. But it was very sad. He died so freaking young. It was very, very sad. The song American Pie is about Richie Valens and Buddy Holly when they died in that plane crash. Yeah, that title isn't ringing any bells, but looking at it, it feels like it may be somewhere in the far reaches of my memory. Like, maybe it's something I saw. Like I said, it says the show ran from 86 to 93. I was born in 86. Maybe I saw it really, really young. Maybe I saw it in passing. It's not anything I ever watched though, but looking at it, it did feel familiar. He played Nikki to the side and insulted her. Okay, Monique was Nikki. To the side and insulted her too. And as soon as she got engaged to Johnny, he was upset and tried to win her over. Hated her. Oh, hell no. Oh, the narrative we push. Oh my God. So you're saying not only was she pestering and wanted to go out with him, but he was insulting her? Oh, hell. Screech never got Lisa on Saved by the Bell. I've never seen Saved by the Bell a day in my life. I don't know Lisa. I do know Screech from like pop culture. Like, I know like who the actor is, but I never saw that show. I don't remember it in terms of seasons. I saw it as a kid. I'm never going back to rewatch it. New York Undercover is one of those shows that I don't remember the show specifically. I just remember the feeling I had about the show. Same. Same, pretty girl Danny. Same. Hey, that's right. The show was supposed to focus on the Winslow family, and Steve was only comedic relief, but the fans took to him, so they changed direction of the show. I feel they should have made Urkel spin-off show and let Family Matters separate from Urkel. Yeah, I don't agree with changing the direction of the show and making it about Urkel. I think it should have stayed about the family if they wanted to capitalize on the height and fame of the Urkel character. I agree, Ronald. We should have done an Urkel spinoff. And I guarantee you the Urkel spinoff would not have been as successful as Family Matters. Because obviously when they changed the direction of the show. Oh, okay. The dad and mom were started on Perfect Strangers. Then they did a show about the family. Love that for those black people. Love that for them. Okay, so Harriet was a secretary on Perfect Strangers. See Beverly Hills Cop 3. Remember Serge? He was the breakout of Perfect Strangers as Belky. Don't be ridiculous was his catchphrase, which was a staple at the time. Never heard Don't Be Ridiculous. Never seen any of the Beverly Hills Cop movies. That actor on there looked familiar, but I don't know where I know him from. Presumably, maybe it's from that show. Maybe I was like, what do you call it? Saw it in passing. Do we have any other topics, questions to get into? But we ain't finna be here all day like we did yesterday, child. We was here for about 4 hours yesterday. Never seen any of the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Never had any desire. I know they just did. Isn't that where the new movie came from? That Axel movie? Isn't he from Beverly Hills Cops, or am I mistaken? Yeah, I covered all the topics I said I would cover. So before I head out, I'm just checking if y'all had anything y'all wanted to chat about. Look at Mark of a Killer on Peacock. Is that the documentary about what's that cult man? Mar why is the name Marilyn Manson in my head? That's not it, is it? Isn't he the rocker? Is that the cult about? Is that the story about the cult? What's the? I don't know why the name Marilyn Manson is in my head. I feel like that's a rock star. Um, the Tate murders guy is that the documentary about him? Because if it is, I have no interest. Mark of a killer wait. 29. Like it's a reoccurring series. The macabre rulers are examined. I feel it. Okay, they have different seasons. I think this is what I keep seeing them advertise, where 4 seasons, season 4. I feel like this is what I keep seeing them advertise about. Oh boy. Oh, or is this not? Wait, this must not be it, because this says the last show was 2022. Okay, this must not be it. Mark of a Killer Peacock. Hey, this is the show I just pulled up. A deep dive into the depraved psyches of some of the worst serial killers to date in hopes of revealing their darkest secrets. This looked like something I would put on to go to sleep to. I like to go to sleep listening to true crime. Maybe I'll add this to my watch list for when I go to sleep tonight. I thought this was the doc, because I don't know what it's called, but there's like a documentary. Every time I'm watching something on Peacock, they're advertising it. Something about, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Marilyn. What is this guy's name? This is finna bug me. Marilyn Manson is a rock star, but I feel like it's Manson something. Y'all know the Tate murders guy. Y'all, let me check the chat. Y'all know him. Charles Manson. Thank you. I knew y'all would have it. They keep advertising something with him, so I thought that's what you were talking about. But let me add Mark of a Serial Killer. That's what I'm gonna listen to when I go to sleep tonight. Wait, what was it called? Mind of a Serial Killer? Damn it, I done forgot that quick. What was it called? It was it Mind of a Serial Killer? Damn it, where's that comment? Was it Mind of a Serial Killer? Or was it, what did you say? Damn it, I can't find the comment. I think it was either Mind of a Serial Killer or Mark of a Serial Killer. I'm just putting them both down. That's what I'm going to go to sleep to tonight. Documentary on serial killers to go to sleep to. Oh my God. That's the ID channel. Oh my Lord. That's what I put on to go to sleep. Behind matching walls. Damn it. It's one about like evil lives here. Behind matching walls. Forensic Files. It's a new one I just discovered. I found it on Tubi, and I don't know how I missed this show. Bizarre Murders. Like that's what I go to sleep to. But really and truthfully, it's not the content. Something about the narrator's voice eases me into sleep. That's why I go to sleep to true crime. Like, I feel like it sounds crazy, but truly, it's not what the content is, it's the narration. Like, I used to, the first show I did it with was Snapped. Do y'all remember Snapped? I used to go to sleep to Snap because the narrator's voice, it eases me into, like, I'm the type of person, I have to sleep with the TV on, but I can't play I can't play something that jolts and keeps my brain active and awake. I need it to be something that turns my brain down. And it's something about the narration, the person's voice that eases me down into sleep and doesn't jolt my mind awake. The only type of show I can't do it with is Snapped. Ended up making a spinoff called Snap Killer Couples. That narrator was too fucking excited that people was getting murdered. Like, I could not go to sleep to her. Her voice was too animated, and she was these true crime series typically have a very somber, monotone type of driven voice, even if it's not just the narration, even if it's like the people talking, and it helps ease me into sleep. Yes, I got so upset when that's when I started kind of getting into some other, I think that's when I got into forensic files. When I cut my cable a few years back, I no longer had access to ID channel on streaming, and I just about died. But yes, HBO Max has a ton of the ID channel shows. Since they did, because y'all know HBO like changed to Max and did like this conglomerate thingy, they added all of those shows. Snap used to be my ish. Through HBO Max, Ronald. Through HBO Max. If you are a reader who is interested in the Charles Manson case, just read Chaos by Tom Neal. Way more interesting than any documentary. I'm a reader. I'm not interested in Charles Manson, but for anybody else who is, there you go. That's the book for you. Nikki graduated from Google University. When I tell you I don't know what people did before Google, I just as y'all know, just moved. But I had to move here like before my lease was up at the other place, right? So I finally went like turn in the keys. And the way they did it was they put a lockbox on the door and I had to put the key in. I was standing out there freezing to death. Like, how the hell do I open this lockbox? Had to go get my cousin. Like, how we could not figure out how to open the lockbox. She was like, okay, what's the name of the lockbox? We looked it up and found, we went to Google and found a video on how to open that lockbox. Baby, I don't know how y'all survived without Google. We would have sat there like two coconuts. Just, we could not get that lockbox open. I Google everything. Literally, I Google everything. Any random thought I have, and I'm like, hey, how did I Google it. I do the same thing, run it all day long when I can. I listen in and out. Killer Kids, the world's most evil killers, etc. And yeah, I literally run my TV 24/7. I never turn my TV off, like literally. And it's so funny. The other day, I cut my TV off for the first time when I left to walk the dog. But usually, I leave the house. I leave it on. I got into the habit when I got a dog, especially living in an apartment, because at least the type of dog I have, she will bark if she hears a noise outside the door. So when I got a dog, I got into the habit of having the TV on to help drown out outside noise. So she's not like barking if she hears something outside. And I got so accustomed, I need some type, I can't have it quiet. Like I literally can't. Like I can't. My aunt was like, "You're probably always overstimulated." I don't know. Maybe I am always overstimulated, but I literally never have it quiet. The only time my TV is off is if I'm playing music, but it's never quiet in my apartment ever. Not even when I sleep. And literally, I need the TV to sleep so bad. If anything happens and the TV cuts off, I wake up out of my sleep. Like, don't cut my TV off. I will know. I will literally wake up out of my sleep if the TV goes off. It's like something in my subconscious, like I need it to sleep. Like it's crazy. And look, it's crazy. This is one of the reasons why I say I can never live with nobody. Like homie, you can live next door to me. We can't, because no one is going to want to sleep the way I sleep. First of all, my thermostat right now says it's 67 degrees. I keep my apartment freezing. My ceiling fan, I'm going to always sleep with the ceiling fan on. I'm going to always sleep with light. Ever since I was a child, I do not like sleeping in the dark. I'm not scared of the dark. I just don't like sleeping in the dark. And I have to sleep with the TV on. Who is gonna sleep with lights on, TV on? Like, no one's gonna want to sleep like that. And I can't change. I have to sleep under those conditions. Like, I have to. I have to. I have to. Oh my God. Good night, Darfalina. Okay, we have been here for 2.5 hours. We did not break our 4-hour record yesterday. I don't know how we was gabbing for 4 hours yesterday, but if we don't have any more topics, questions, whatever the hell to chit chat about, I am going to bid you all adieu. Because if Jaleel can say melee, I am going to say bid you adieu. Remember, we will be here Friday for a Wishmaster watch along with My Sweet Perspective, Struggle Reviews TV, Sister Girl on Film, and In Love with Horror. So please make sure you show up and support that. What else? I think that's the only thing I have lined up. Oh yeah, my Pumpkinhead review will be up this week. So be on the lookout for both of those. I think those are my only things coming this week. I do want to do another tier list. I want to do another massive tier list. I'm debating doing a part 2, like redoing my Final Girls tier list ranking, because I did do a Final Girls tier list ranking, I think 2 years ago on the channel, 2 years ago, a year ago, I can't remember. But we have new Final Girls, and plus we have new people on the channel. But I don't know if I want to do something new or like redo that. But I do want to do another like massive tier list ranking, because the franchise one was really fun. The horror monsters and villains, that was really fun. So I don't know what it'll be on, but I want to do another tier list ranking. I always sleep with the lights, TV on sometimes, and I need to be hot and cold, if that makes it. Baby, how you gonna be hot and cold? How you gonna be hot and cold? Yes, pull up for your first time watch. It will also be Ashley's first time watch. Pull up for the first time watch. What we got? I'll be there. I love y'all, and I love the Wishmaster. Shout out to you, Miriam. Shout out to you, TP. Don't take this the wrong way, but I sleep. I gotta screen these comments before I just start reading them. I sleep with. Oh, okay. Let me get to the rest of the comment. I just mean our conditions are exactly the same. Okay. We was going a little left, but okay, we brought it back home. I feel like the biggest thing I hear from a lot of people is that they don't like is the fact that I sleep with lights on, and the fact that I sleep with the TV on, and the fact that I let my dog sleep in my bed. And I'm not changing any of it. Like my homegirl, her boyfriend at the time didn't like her dog on the sofa and like in her bed. Baby, you're not coming into my house. You're not coming to my dog's house and telling her how we're gonna fucking live. Like my dog is gonna be on the sofa. She's gonna be in the bed. Like this is her home, baby. You're the guest. Like I'm not playing. Like I'm not that person. Like no. like we're not doing that. But thank you guys so much for being here for our second day in a row. See this, y'all, look, I don't be having like a schedule, but y'all know I'm gonna show up with content. Like we just gonna show up and we just gonna do stuff, because our little chit chat is not like a set schedule where it's a same day and time. We just do it on a regular basis. Like, you know, it's gonna come. We was here yesterday and we came back today. Like, look, I may not look. Who was that yesterday who said my what did I say? Oh shoot, what did I call it? I said method to my madness, and they said it was more madness than method. Baby, it's method. It's method. I may not, be like Destiny's Child over there. And when I say Destiny Child, I mean struggle, EJ, and my sweet perspective, where I have like a set ironclad schedule. But look, it's a method. I'm gonna show up with the content. Like I'm gonna be here. I'm just gonna be here on my own time. Okay. I'm sorry y'all have to live on the white man's time, but I just do whatever I want. Shout out to Kim, because that's where I got that from. I love open chats a lot. You know what, Ronald, apparently a lot of you guys do. So that's why we keep going. We keep going. Like I always say, anything that y'all show up for, I'm gonna show up. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep rocking with it if it's engagement. So even though I forgot who it was yesterday who said I was all over the place. Look, we be all over the place. Now, hold on now. Because we was a little structured today. I came in with some topics today. we was a little structured, but we were still all over the place. But it's a method to the madness, okay? It's a method to the madness. I need the covers, but can't be overheated. So either AC or fan is on or the window is open. Okay. Yes, the watches are fun. We are going to be doing Wishmaster Friday, so please show up and support that. The live is already up and scheduled, so you can turn the notifications on. I already have it on the channel. Wait, Miriam, your block hand too strong. Your block hand, Troy is cool. Your block hand too strong, Miriam. Miriam taking the mod power real far. I can't. You offended at first, but now you don't give. What? I don't know what I missed. I watched you instead of finishing the Pope's Exorcist, and that is the best decision you made all year, Equalizer. I'm just being funny. But thank you guys so much for being here. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.
We're here already! You're next! You're next! You're next!
Now, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
He knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
Sometimes that is better.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
They are not men, monsieur. They are dead bodies. Dead. Zombies.
I'm not even going to swat that fly. I hope they are watching. They'll see. They'll see and they'll know. And they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
We're here already! You're next! You're next!
We'll make her one of us. A loving cup, a loving cup. We accept her, one of us. We accept her, one of us.
Goober gobble, goober gobble.
We accept her, we accept her. Google gobble, Google gobble. One of us, one of us. Google gobble.
They're going to make you one of them.